Okay, so what if you created a universe so incredibly complex it was basically a theoretical physics paper, but it played like a cosmic fighting game? Well, that's the world we're diving into today. TrueFlow, the Multiversal Nexus, the wild creation of the fictional Dr. Melvin Sewell. It's a crazy ride, and it all kicks off with one of the strangest disclaimers I have ever read.
Right out of the gate, the source material tells us this isn't just a story. It's mythic infrastructure, a cinematic indictment, a sovereign broadcast. And look, that's not just some fancy artsy language. No, that's a warning. It's telling us we're about to enter a world where the lines between theory, story, and reality are just going to completely melt away.
And this is the core question of this whole explainer. What happens when the architect of a universe gets yanked from behind the curtain and shoved right onto center stage? The creator becomes a combatant, and his theoretical little world becomes a very, very real and dangerous battlefield.
So let's meet our protagonist, Dr. Melvin Sewell. He's the academic dean, the diagnostic architect, basically the brilliant mind behind this whole TrueFlow system. He's a guy who designs and observes worlds from a safe distance, but he's about to get a very hands-on promotion he really did not ask for.
So, what was TrueFlow even supposed to be? Well, in the beginning, it was just a model, a simulation. You can think of it like a cosmic chessboard, designed to see what happens when stable, orderly universes, the dominant factions, smash up against unpredictable, chaotic ones, the wildcard realities. The most important thing to remember here is it was all just a game. A theory.
And then this happens. A voice, one that wasn't programmed, not digital, but somehow alive, just echoes through his entire system. The theoretical construct shatters. The lights on his interface start to warp, and Melvin feels this pull, an invitation to step out of the lab and into the chaos he only ever meant to watch.
And just like that, the system itself gives him a new job title. He's not the guy who wrote the code anymore. The boundary between creator and player has just vanished. Poof! He just got drafted into his own game.
Now, Melvin isn't just dropped into some random free-for-all. Oh no, he lands smack in the middle of a fundamental war of ideologies. This is a battle for the very soul of reality itself. Should the universe be stable and predictable, or should it be fluid and always changing?
Okay, let's break down the two sides here. On one side, you've got the philosophy of control. These guys use brute force to keep reality locked down, stable, predictable. Their goal is structure. Then, on the other side, you've got chaos, which is all about fluidity and possibility, literally rewriting the rules of a fight while it's still happening. Melvin is trapped between an immovable object and an unstoppable, constantly changing force.
But here's the kicker. Melvin isn't a normal player. See, as the original architect, his abilities aren't bound by the rules of control or chaos. He gets a third option. He fights with the system's source code itself. He can exploit the very fabric of reality.
Let's take a look at one of his signature moves, because this is just awesome. The Paradox Strike.
And the description here is just chef's kiss. The move is infused with fractured probability, and it forces his opponent to relive a defensive mistake they never actually made. I mean, think about that for a second. He's not just hitting you, he's attacking your memory of what just happened a split second ago.
And he's got more tricks up his sleeve. He can quantum sidestep through alternate timelines to dodge an attack. He can send out a reality wave pulse that just shatters the idea that anything is set in stone. He's not just fighting in the system, he is the system. He's creating a third path forward, a balanced, adaptive state right between the two extremes.
So just when Melvin starts to get the hang of his new role, master his powers, bam, the story takes another hard left turn. He realizes that while he might have written the current version of TrueFlow, he wasn't the first person to build something in this space.
Suddenly, this message just appears, etched in light across the sky. It hints at a forgotten history, a predecessor. And just like that, Melvin's mission completely flips. It's not about survival anymore. Now, it's about archaeology. He has to uncover the secret history of his own creation.
So the message leads him to this hidden gateway, a reality node just pulsing with unreadable energy. And when he steps through, he finds it, something ancient, mechanical, and totally unfinished, the Paradox engine.
And this engine, man, it's not just some old piece of tech. It's like an abandoned creation myth. The original architect built this system up to a critical point, but then they just stopped. They couldn't, or maybe they wouldn't.
make the final choice about what this universe should become. The entire multiverse has just been sitting here, waiting for someone to finish the job.
So what does Melvin do? He accepts the responsibility. He decides he's going to complete the engine. But in the world of TrueFlow, every single act of creation has an equal and opposite consequence. And this one, oh, it is a big one.
By activating that engine, he doesn't just pick a winner between control and chaos. No, he fundamentally rewrites the rules for everybody. He transforms the entire tournament from a brutal war into this balanced, living ecosystem where evolution, not dominance, is the new goal. But this perfect act of balance comes at a terrible, terrible cost.
And the price for that perfect balance? It's called the devouring rift. A new, ultimate anomaly is born from his act of creation. It's a tear in reality that threatens to just consume everything. And you can't fight it. It's not an enemy. It's a consequence. It's the universe's receipt for his actions. So this brings him to his final, absolutely impossible choice. What do you do? Does he stabilize the rift, saving his creation but giving up his power over it forever? Does he integrate the rift into the system, making its destructive chaos a permanent, unpredictable game mechanic? Or does he just walk away and let the entire universe fend for itself?
But Melvin, being the architect that he is, he chooses none of the above. He finds a fourth option. It's a solution that is both incredibly clever and, honestly, philosophically profound. He decides to redefine the very nature of the threat itself.
Instead of destroying or containing the chaos, he gives it a job. The devouring rift is no longer just some destructive void. It becomes a permanent, interactive part of the ecosystem. You can think of it like a built-in defense mechanism, a living test that will rise up and push back against anyone, any faction that ever tries to enforce absolute control over the multiverse again.
And in doing that, Melvin becomes something else entirely. He's no longer just the architect who designs from the outside, or just the player who experiences from the inside. He becomes the player-architect, a figure who shapes reality by living within it, merging the act of creation with the act of participation.
Which leaves us all with this final thought. Melvin has created a system that will now evolve forever. A game with no final boss and no end screen. TrueFlow is now a living philosophy, where creation is this constant, ongoing process. And the question the story leaves us with is a powerful one. Is the promise of endless creation a beautiful thing, or is it a terrifying one?